Let's get into our first conversation now. Cryptocurrency adoption is rapidly on the rise here in Nigeria, despite regulators' attempts to limit access as users seek alternative methods of making transactions. According to reports from the Global Crypto Adoption Index published by China Analyses, Nigeria ranked 6th in the world of crypto trading, as a lack of financial inclusion and macroeconomic factors are also pushing Nigerians to trade cryptocurrencies. This is despite the country's central bank saying in February 2021 that the use of cryptocurrencies is a direct contravention of existing laws and banning commercial banks from dealing in them, warning that cryptocurrency trading poses risk, including investment laws, money laundering, and terrorism financing. With this ban in place, the question begging for answer on the lips of many Nigerians is what exactly is fueling the rise of crypto trading in Nigeria? And to provide answers to this question and many others, I'm now being joined virtually from Warri in Delta State by a blockchain architect, Dominic Rume, who joins us live on the program. Dominic, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us here on Business Nigeria at this time. Perhaps you may need to talk to us from your perspective about the engagement of Nigerians and cryptocurrency at this time. What are you seeing? What are you reading?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm grateful to be here on this particular platform.
Yeah.
The truth is, Nigeria and the Nigerian government is actually missing something that is a blessing, right? So a few weeks ago, Nigerian government were invited to El Salvador as part of some of the countries that are looking at getting digital economy, digital currencies, and Bitcoin into their economy. So the Nigerian government actually is blessed to have citizens that are interested in cryptocurrencies, in blockchain, and all these particular new technology, instead of a country now that is like El Salvador, that it is the country that is first interested in that particular type of technology before the citizens. You don't know the amount of blessing that this is. When you talk about the cryptocurrency, the CBN ban, in 2017, when this particular issue started, a circular was sent out that they should stop payments for businesses that have cryptocurrencies, that are using cryptocurrencies as means of transaction, that the bank should stop issuing out electronic payments to them. And then move down to 2021, there was another reminder that came at around February and reiterated that particular circular that happened before, which you see Nigeria is ranking in the world as one of the top leaders in terms of cryptocurrency, at least 6th or at least 5th in the world in terms of cryptocurrency. Then you now see in 2022 now, this present time, with this particular knowledge, with these particular statistics that have been given, and the global body recognizing Nigeria as part of the global movers, the SEC sent out a particular circular. That circular stated that Nigerians can now actually get into this particular cryptocurrency space and play it on a regulated level, which was one of the very good things that happened. Because you see, every investor, some people are scared of cryptocurrency. Every investor wants to be sure of his or her investment. And regulation is the best way to be able to ensure that cryptocurrency actually gives you the best form of the best form of value that you want it to deliver to you. And how do I mean? To be able to play in a space that you can hold somebody accountable. That is what the SEC did. But the problem with what the SEC did is that they made the bottleneck or the entry window to be very high. I mean, okay, so we have young Nigerians, the majority of Nigerians that are playing in the cryptocurrency space, a lot of them are within 20, about 15 years to about 35 years old or 30 years old. A lot of them do not have the kind of capital that was actually set out for For cryptocurrencies to be to be regulated. And what kind of capital are we talking about? We had 100,000 registration fee, we had 300,000 application fee, and we had 30 million 30 million filing fee. You needed to have 500 million as collateral, as bond. You can see the because of the recession and the pandemic that happened, we have, as a country, we used to be, we have actually stood out as the giant of Africa. Every time we have stood out as the giant of Africa. And since the pandemic and the recession that came, we're expecting that a lot of things will happen. But you can see that Nigerians, as the giant of Africa, has taken a lead role in this particular world, cryptocurrency and technological and digital space, and we're leading this particular charge. And that is something that the government is to recognize.
But I would like to ask you, Dominic, because, I mean, it's obvious we ranked 6th in the world of crypto trading. I would engage you very briefly about why perhaps we're having many Nigerians involved in this, perhaps. But those who are involved in crypto, for instance, are we not supposed to be concerned about the risk of engaging in such tradings? Because the concerns of the government, for instance, the fact that there could be investment losses, there could be, it could be as a medium of financing terrorism, and of course there are also issues around money laundering as well. Are we not supposed to be concerned about some of these risks involved? Because I'm not sure Nigerians have recovered from issues around the Ponzi schemes. I'm not going to mention any one of them, but a lot of Nigerians fell victims to very recently issues around Ponzi schemes and lost a lot of monies and investments.
Yes, you are very correct. There is the fear, there's a general fear from the government, right, that these particular cryptocurrencies and a couple of things cannot be checked. Let's say, for example, globally, we had cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies was used during the Ukraine war to be able to see. It depends on the purpose, actually, and that is the truth. You see, the intent that someone has towards using a technology like the internet, this particular technology now we're using it for good. Some other people, they use it for what? For bad. So let's say, for example, like the war in Ukraine, you can see good relief materials came in terms of what? Cryptocurrency funding, and what? It was, even though the government possibly took some tax from maybe inside or whatever it is, but at least it was beneficial to what? To the government. And that came as a source of what? A new digital type of crowdfunding that is now available in the world. Let's take, for example, to something that happened in 2020. That is when they used Bitcoin to fund the NSAS movement. A couple of people were able to use that, and the government had a couple of concerns about it. And yes, those kind of things are concerns that governments usually have. The thing is this: the government can actually use regulatory policies, just like we said with the SEC, to be able to protect the lives, the funds, and because if you lose your fund, there's high possibility that it can cut short your life, especially if you lose all your life savings there. And the government can put in, so that's why the Security and Exchange Commission came up with that particular circular. But it's just unfortunate that the bottleneck for it is very high. I mean, a lot of the Nigerians that are doing this particular cryptocurrency or that are in this particular space, right, they do not have that particular amount for what? For capital to put into it, to come out boldly and say, well, we want to be able to float this particular token. Although the SEC did state some warnings. Like, I was going through the document earlier in one of the interviews I had, and I was telling them that the SEC placed a particular warning that even after you have paid all this money, you should be able to still state that before the approval that the XCC is not available, is not associated with this and all that, putting a disclaimer to the investor that such an investment is what is possibly going to be affected by volatility or something in the market. Although there are regulatory this thing coming out, we can see that this particular regulatory this thing is still a little bit porous because there is still a disclaimer of this is almost not a financial advice. And what you can go and do it on your own. So the both step that they took to actually put up some regulatory policies is one key factor that will protect a lot of Nigerians from what? From the hazard that is associated with it. Like for a middle-class Nigerian, in the document, it is said that you should not invest more than 200,000 naira, and the less than, maybe from about 200,000 naira to about maximum of 12 million naira per annum. And you can see, because of those kind of benchmark, you might not lose all your life savings, and then you won't be able to manage the
yes. So, well, since we have been trading, perhaps we have been trading illegally because the government of the day in February 2021 had banned crypto trading. So you are trading illegally. Is that so?
How do you mean trading illegally?
Does that make it illegal is what I'm asking. If the federal government had in 2021, February, banned the use of cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so understand what was in the circular. The circular did not say that Nigerians should not use cryptocurrency or Nigerians cannot trade in cryptocurrency. It says that the banks that is processing transactions for Nigerians should not process cryptocurrency-related transactions for what? For Nigerians. So this is a very strong key point that a lot of people need to know.
The government had also said, Dominic, that it was a direct contravention of existing laws. That was also in the circular as well. Does that make it illegal?
When you say existing laws, would you be able to point a couple of them?
Okay. But maybe we should leave that argument. But let me also ask you about the impact on Nigeria's economy, for instance. Just how has this trading impacted on the growth of our economy at this time?
So the impact is actually very immense. For one, with cryptocurrencies, we've seen increased gaming activities. Like Nigerians have been able to earn from participation with just the blockchain as a technology. Nigerians have been able to earn from participating in global gaming platforms. They've started game development on the EVM, let's say like on Ethereum, on blockchain. You see things like the new NFT economy coming in, and people are able to engage in blockchain games, and they're able to earn digital rare collectible items, and they're able to sell it in the open marketplace for a lot of dollars. We've also been able to monetize the African work, the African art, the African spirit, in terms of the ability to create, the ability to put originality into everything that we do, especially as it is related with the blockchain. We have also used it to gain more financial freedom because we are gaining more FX. Like I can export my intellect. What we do at Vrem, we teach people the skill set of the blockchain. So we educate people everything they need on game development, solidity, EVM, just think of it, NFT 2D design, NFT 3D design. And you see, once these people are able to work with foreign companies, they can be earning $10,000, $5,000, $1,000 on a monthly basis. And this brings FX back into the country, which means that we're exporting intellectual property, and we're not just relying on cash crops, right, to be able to generate intellectual or generate FX for the economy. So this particular technology actually brings a lot of interesting benefits. One quick benefit is the fact that it allows you to create job opportunities for people. I mean, there's a shift from the degree-empowered economy to the economy of skill. And blockchain skill actually makes the difference. The thing is this, there's high demand for blockchain across all industries and sectors at the moment. And that particular high demand is creating a scarcity. Thus, blockchain engineers, blockchain people, they're in high demand. And then you look at it, you're able to create new businesses for people. If you can use new cutting-edge solutions, right, to be able to develop business use cases for traditional businesses and upskill those traditional businesses to the blockchain level. I mean, let's say, for example, before, if you were going to upload your pictures on maybe Instagram or maybe Facebook, on the block as a content creator, right? On the blockchain, one level higher, maybe as somebody as a photographer on the blockchain, one level higher, you upload it on OpenSea, as possibly one that maybe uses the bank normally for your transactions to be able to get, maybe you're a farmer here in Nigeria and you want to grow crops for people maybe in US, in Pakistan, in Kuwait, and they want to send you money. Maybe normally they use Western Union, they use all of those things. They have the bottleneck of 10% in transactions and all that, right? And they use banks normally to pay your money, and you get those money in 10 days, 15 days. you can upskill one step higher, because the blockchain is just an enabler of everything. The blockchain is not competing with finance. The blockchain just enables finance to get better. So instead of you using that particular bottleneck where you don't even have the dollar, I mean, for us to use our card in this country is just $20 you can use on a monthly basis. So for you to be able to gain that particular access to global capital inflow, you can upskill one step higher towards the blockchain to be able to have access to US dollars. So they pay you those currencies maybe from outside country, you farm the produce here in Nigeria, and you export those produce. You have brought in FX into the country.
All right.
You are farmed using our natural resources, process it, and go out. So it has been a very, very strong learning curve. And you can see remittance and payment, just like I just made mention of. It is very, very profitable.
All right, so Dominic, we need to wind down on our conversation because time is seriously of essence at this point. But I want you to perhaps walk us through the impacts of the restrictions by FG on cryptocurrency transactions, and of course the ban on Twitter as well. Walk us through the impact of these restrictions and the ban on Twitter on our foreign direct investment.
Okay, so the thing is, like I was in Abuja a few weeks back, and you have people that want to possibly come and they put in blockchain centers here, innovation hubs. Like we're building, we just secured the land for one of the innovation hubs that we're building here in Delta State, right? Now, this particular set of people that came in from Dubai, seeing that type of ban on cryptocurrency secular, and they want to come and build a blockchain center here, where they can teach people, these people can master this skill set, and we can optimize these people to another economy.
Just asking
those people will be scared to invest their billions of dollars into our economy, and that is already affecting foreign direct investment. Like I said, Nigeria is blessed. The government is blessed to have citizens and population that is, first of all, interested in the blockchain technology. It's not the government that is interested in it, though. It is the citizens that have the skill set that is interested in it. So instead of the problem is that the government does not come from a
knowledge
standpoint.
I understand.
Attack this. They can come from there.
All right,
they can come from there, then
we have to go now, Dominic. I understand we are absolutely pressed for time, but perhaps very briefly, walk us through the future of cryptocurrency transactions here in Nigeria. We are a few months away from a general elections in February 2023. What's the future of cryptocurrency transactions?
Okay, so I will say two things because you made mention of the election. Number one, with cryptocurrency or with blockchain, we have like the INERA. These things currently, like what the government released a few months back, the INERA will be able to help to scale our economy, help better taxation, help reduce the amount we are using to be able to print the physical Naira notes that we're distributing, and help have a bit of control around the economy. So that is actually a good step in the right direction. But then, mind you, it is still CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency, which is not really compliant with the blockchain, although it is in that direction. Number two, because you made mention of the election, right? You can have things like I said in one of my speeches, like you can have things like the blockchain. One property of the blockchain is immutability and transparency. You can have an election where you have a population of 100 million Nigerians, 50 million accredited votes. We say, okay, let the election start by 6 a.m. in the morning. Every accredited voter, they've gotten their token. And then they put, like computer-based tests, they put that particular token straight into a vote. Everybody start voting. And in less than a few minutes, you will see that particular election result, everybody can see transparency on the blockchain, which will be able to make sure that the blockchain as a technology helps to upskill our electoral process, and we'll have a free and fair election. At Verein, we have the tech side to be able to develop such particular processes. And you see that this technology is very robust. We can save the life of coppers. We can save a lot from just dying in terms of all of these type of things. The future of it is so bright.
Well, Dominic, we have to leave it here. I'm afraid there's so much to unpack, and of course, you're doing so much justice to this, but we have to go now. Great job to you and, of course, every other young Nigerian who is into crypto even though there are restrictions, of course. We hope that the new government perhaps would allow crypto even excel more, and then Nigeria can, of course, move from the 6th position to being number 1 in crypto transactions. But thank you most kindly, Dominic. You have a book, The Wealth of the Blockchain and Evolution into the Metaverse. We cannot talk about your book. Maybe subsequently we could speak with you, but thank you indeed for your time and your insights. Blockchain architect and a certified metaverse expert, Dominic Rume Uririe. Thank you indeed for your insights and time.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. You can check rumedominic.com to find the books.
Dominic, you may have to pay for that. Thank you so much. We'll see you some other time.